Astaroth awakened, exploring the demonic depths. Among the demons of the infernal hierarchy, Astaroth, the demon of secret, free, knowledge, occupies a special place. He is loyal to people, helps them in their search for truth and knowledge, sacred and impure. The image of Astaroth can be compared in some ways with the Titan Prometheus. He paid for his desire to open people's innermost knowledge, as Prometheus paid for the gift of fire. In the Middle Ages, even Catholic priests summoned demons to get answers to questions. Astaroth, demon, causing pity. The first grimoire that mentions the name of a demon is believed to be the Lemmigeddon, better known as the Little Key of Solomon. In the work, which contains information on Gothic, witchcraft, and Christian demonology, Astaroth is presented as one of the supreme rulers of the demonic army and lord of the 40 legions of demons of hell. Astaroth has knowledge of the secrets inherent in every human being, as well as has information about the true reasons for the betrayal of God by the fallen angels and is able to tell the details of his fall into sin. Astaroth has a number of similarities with the infernal prince Asmodeus, who is a member of Lucifer's retinue and has a head with the faces of a man, a donkey and a bull. Unlike Asmodeus, Astaroth is characterized by a less ugly appearance and does not have a passion for the destruction of family traditions and marriage bonds. On the contrary, it is considered one of the most loyal demons to people. In many photos made from ancient grimoires, Astaroth is depicted with a book, the cover of which is crowned with the inscription, Free Knowledge. Astaroth and Asmodeus, despite their common features, are represented in a number of works as beings with diametrically opposed beliefs. If Asmodeus loves to turn virgins into ugly girls, push spouses to cheat and ignite excitement in the hearts of greedy players, Astaroth patronizes seekers of truth, free from dogma and templates. The demon bears a great resemblance to Prometheus and Lucifer. His title varies depending on the source. In the Grimoire of Lemmigeddon he is referred to as a duke, other works indicate his affiliation with the angelic ranks and the seraphim. Astaroth in history. The demon Astaroth was honored in Mesopotamia and ancient Yemen as a protector and god of war at the same time. According to Jewish demonology is the chief treasurer of hell. Medieval magical grimoires say that Astaroth, along with Beelzebub and Lucifer are the top of the triad of forces of evil. In subordination to them demons lower rank. In the power of Lucifer was Europe, in the subordination of Beelzebub, the African continent, Astaroth ruled South and North America. Among the researchers of mythology to this day does not subside disputes about who is Astaroth, a projection of Astarte or a separate demon. Some cultures associate the name of the Dark Duke with the Moon and Venus. Star Astaroth, Sirius, to which were dedicated many temples of ancient Rome, Greece, Persia, and Egypt. Another demon star is Procyon, part of the constellation of the Lesser Dog. It is one of the brightest stars in the night sky. Wikipedia states that Procyon is a double star, one of the closest stars to Earth. Astarte and Astaroth. Many modern-day demonologists hypothesize that Astarte and Astaroth are married. According to Jewish legends, Astarte personified war and fertility and was considered the spouse of Satan. Astarte, Greek version of the pronunciation of the name of the demoness, who is known in Mesopotamian, Babylonian and other cultural traditions under the names of Ishtar, Inanna, and Ashtaroth. Demoness Astarte became with the presentation of the Jewish scriptures, which formed the basis of the Abrahamic religions. Prior to that, most Semitic peoples honored her as the supreme goddess. Appearance and abilities. Looking at the pictures in various grimoires, one can conclude that Astaroth's appearance is a subject of active debate and controversy. In Lemmigeddon, he is described as an ugly angel of death riding a dragon. Johann Weir, a famous demonologist in the Middle Ages, described Astaroth's countenance as a handsome young man endowed with a pair of angelic wings. Most references to the demon contain serpent or dragon motifs. In Lemmigeddon it is stated that the Lord has a disgusting stinking breath, protection from which only a magic ring can provide. Like the other demons described in Goetia, Astaroth can grant invisibility and give away the secrets of treasure locations. Appearance. The most detailed description of Astaroth's appearance is contained in the Lemmigeddon, where the demon is described as an ugly angel riding a hell dragon, holding an adder in his right hand and having a disgusting malicious breath. In the illustration accompanying the description of the demon, Astaroth is depicted as a lean naked man with dragon wings, with plumed arms and legs, and also having additional bird wings behind a pair of basic wings. His head is decorated with a crown. In his left hand he holds a wriggling snake and rides an animal similar to a dog or a wolf, but with a reptilian tail. In the later Kabbalah, Astaroth, or Tartak, was depicted as a man with a donkey's head, carrying an upside-down book in which are written the words Liber Scientia, i.e. free knowledge. According to the true grimoire, Astaroth appears in human form, clothed in black and white, sometimes also in the form of a donkey. In addition, Astaroth is often depicted in the form of a man. Position in the hierarchy of demons. In Abramelon's sacred magic, Astaroth is one of the 8 princes subordinate to the 4 supreme spirits of evil: Lucifer, Leviathan, Satan, and Belial. There are 32 spirits in his personal service, as well as 53 subject to him and Asmodeus at the same time. In the Lemmigeddon, Astaroth is a powerful and strong duke who gives true answers about things concerning the present, the past, and the future. Also, he will tell of the fall of spirits and explain the reasons for his own fall and can teach people all the free sciences. Under his command, according to the Lemmigeddon, are 40 legions of spirits. In the later Kabbalah, Astaroth, or Tartak, 3, is also the demon of the medium and the planet Mercury. He is contrasted with the seal of Solomon, hexagram, around which is inscribed the word Yahweh, as well as the name of the angel Raphael. Astaroth is the 4th of the 10 archidemons, opposing the 10 divine Sephiroth. He delivers the patronage of the powerful. In the hierarchy of Iveres de Prostigius Daemonum, Astaroth is the chief treasurer of hell. According to Barrett's classification, see Christian demonology, Astaroth is the prince of the 8th rank of demons, accusers and peepers. According to the True Grimoire, 16th century, and the Great Grimoire, 18th century, Astaroth is part of the triad of higher spirits along with Lucifer and Beelzebub, and rules America. His main subordinates are Sargatanas and Nibiros. His support is called upon when summoning a lesser spirit, for example, Lucifugus Refocal and the Grand Grimoire. In Pope Honorius's Grimoire, 1629, Astaroth is the demon of Wednesday. He is summoned in a magic circle by a special spell between 10 and 11 o'clock at night in order to gain favor with the king and other lords. I conjure you, Astaroth, evil spirit, by the words and power of God, by the all-powerful God, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, to whom all demons submit, who was conceived by the Virgin Mary, by the secret of the angel Gabriel, I conjure you. Do not disregard my commands, do not refuse to appear. In the folk book about Dr. Faustus, 1587, Astaroth is named among the 7 chief spirits of hell who visited the famous sorcerer at his request. This is interesting. The folk book about Dr. Faustus, 1587, names Astaroth as one of the 7 chief spirits of hell who visited the famous sorcerer at his request. Astaroth appeared in the form of a dragon and so entered directly on his tail. He had no legs, his tail was colored like a lizard, his belly was thick, in front of the 2 short legs, completely yellow, and the belly is yellow-white, his back was brown, like a chestnut, on it sharp needles and bristles and a finger long, like a hedgehog. In the grimoire The Black Raven, 16th century, he is named as one of the 4 governors of the underworld. The demon's name and his downfall. Like other sinister creatures, Astaroth has several names. Most of the names for this demon come from the Hebrew language. Sometimes you can find variations of his name such as Astaret, Astaroth, Astartes. This is interesting. The assumption that the name of the demonic entity comes from the modified name of the goddess Astarte is widely known. In the Middle Ages it was believed that Astaroth and Astarte are spouses. The same version adhered to some modern demonologists. Supreme Prince of Darkness attributed to the fallen angels who betrayed God and denied him. Those who called Astaroth through a special ritual, entered into communication with him. They say that he willingly tells about his fall and does not consider himself guilty of it. Also, this demon claims to know the true reasons for the sinfulness of the other inhabitants of the underworld. Legend. Astaroth is a demon often involved in epidemics of possession. In 1563 to 1566 he and other demons possessed Nicole Aubry of Verwyn, and after an exorcism came out of the possessed woman's mouth in the form of a pig. In 1611 Astaroth, along with 6,665 other demons, possessed Madeleine de Mandal, a nun of the Ursuline convent in Aix-en-Provence. According to Admirable History by exorcist Sebastian Michaelis, Astaroth is a prince of the rank of thrones. L. Spence, an Encyclopedia of Occultism, refers him to the seraphim, inclines people to idleness, laziness and worldliness, and inflates their vanity. His heavenly opponent is Saint Bartholomew. Somewhat later, Astaroth was one of the demons who possessed the Loudun nuns, possessing Sister Elizabeth Blanchard with 5 other demons. A treaty, written in Latin from right to left in inverted words, between the infernal forces and the priest-sorcerer Urban Grandier, signed by Astaroth and the other demons, has been preserved. Astaroth and Asmodeus, as traditional devils of lust, were invoked in the ritual of the Black Mass, in 1673, by Louis XIV's mistress Madame de Montespan and the sinister Abbé Guiberg, sacrificing a child to the demons. Astaroth, Asmodeus, friendly princes, I call upon you to accept the sacrifice of this child, whom I present to you with the request that the king and the dauphin maintain their favor with me, that I be honored by the princes and princesses of the court, and that the king refuse none of my requests, both for the good of my relatives and vassals. According to other sources, he teaches exact sciences and crafts, is able to make people invisible and lead people to hidden treasures, and gives answers to any questions posed to him. He also gives mortals power over snakes. According to occultist Francis Barrett, Astaroth is the prince of accusers and inquisitors. According to some 16th-century demonologists, the month of August is the period of Astaroth's most powerful effects on people. He is also known by the name Astartes, which in the Latin translation of the Bible, Vulgate, is transformed from the names Astarte, singular, and Astaroth, plural. The latter name is given in the Bible of 1611. Mentions in literature. Greben's Mystery of the Passion, 1450, Astaroth is one of the demons subordinate to Lucifer. He seduces even the form of the serpent. Praise me, Lucifer, for I have just caused the greatest of disasters. Pulcis the Great Morganti, 1482, Astaroth is an amiable and learned demon who is summoned by the magician Malagigi to help the knight Roland. Astaroth enjoys launching into theological speculation, recognizing the goodness and justice of God. Sheckley's The Battle, 1954, Astaroth is one of the demons involved in the final eschatological battle. Astaroth shouted an order, and Behemoth moved heavily to the attack. Belial, at the head of a wedge of devils, collapsed upon General Federer's stiffened left flank. Leiden Michael Astaroth. James Kruse Timmtaler, or Sold Laughter, he spoke of Beelzebub, ruler of hell, of the demons Phorcys, Astaroth, and Behemoth, of witches and black magic, of the famous wizard Dr. Faustus, who at one time had as his servant the famous devil Mephistopheles. Mikhail Afanasievich Bulgakov. In his famous work The Master and Margarita he changed the name Astaroth to Voland at the last moment because he wanted to use a name invented by himself. Woland is very similar to Astaroth in that he tested people for vanity and lust for profit, lust, and seduced them with various sins. Why do people carry out the call? Sometimes the reason is laziness and unwillingness to work independently, sometimes, a desperate situation when a person sees no other solution. In any case, summoning a demon is a last resort, because it is not known what exactly he will demand as payment. The Seal of Astaroth and the Summoning of a Demon. The Seal of Astaroth is a special amulet that must be engraved on a metal plate. It looks like a circle containing a pentagram with dots, vertically arranged lines and other occult symbolism. The sigil is worn around the neck before summoning a demonic entity. This seal is required to hold near the face during the reading of the spell and other ritual moments. This symbol protects against the incredible stench, the appearance of which Astaroth gives notice of his arrival, as well as forcing him to obey the will of the Black Magician. The demon must be summoned after a strict 9-day fast, exclusively on Wednesdays. It is believed that Astaroth was born on this day of the week. The most suitable period for communication with a creature from the underworld, the time between 2200 hours and 2300 hours. It is best to perform the ritual in a non-residential building. In the room where the ritual takes place, there should be no animals. The exception is snakes, allowing to gain special favor of one of the supreme princes of darkness. How to call a guardian demon? There are guardian demons that can protect you from unfavorable influences. Any confident strong mage knows how to summon a guardian demon. This is a very difficult ritual that requires strong energy and the ability to stand up for yourself. For the calling of the guardian demon is prepared a special bowl into which the blood of the victim is poured. On the floor draw a pentagram, necessarily in a circle. The bowl should be placed in the center of the drawing. As a victim in this case it is necessary to use only a black chicken, which is killed with the words, "Accept my sacrifice, my guardian. Do not be angry that I trust in you." The blood of the chicken is poured into a bowl. The magician dips his finger into the bowl and circles the outline of the pentagram with it. After this procedure the magician himself becomes in a circle and pronounces the following spell. Demon, my protector, my patron. I trust in you, I call on you. For there is no one more powerful than you in this world. For there is no one else to turn to. Hear me and come to my call. Only after the above spell will be read 5 times in a row, the demon will appear in front of you. Then you can ask it to become your guardian. Again, do not forget to send the demon back after your communication is complete. To exorcise the demon, recite the following words. In the names of all the gods I conjure, hide from the evil eye of man, from the magic of my enemies, but you walk on my heels. Keep me safe from all dashing. If the demon did not demand anything in return, it means he agrees to become your protector. Summoning a demon. Astaroth tried to call many people. According to written sources, Lemageddon, Grimoire Virum and others, he is able to give the power of invisibility, answer innermost questions and give the caller incredible magical power. Before calling the demon Astaroth, experienced esotericists advise to fast for 9 days. This will strengthen the spirit, acquire determination and protect yourself from the influence of the demon. At the end of the fast it is recommended to conduct a rite of purification. First, this you will respect Astaroth, and secondly, even more secure your own soul. The invocation is carried out in a circle drawn on the floor or on the ground, protecting the caster. The place of summoning depends on the purpose. An old cemetery will be needed to answer questions, while any room or building, preferably abandoned, will do for swearing allegiance to Astaroth or making a request. Unless you are an experienced mage, never summon an entity in a place where people live. Closing the portal is much more difficult than opening it, and beginners do not always succeed. You must address the demon without fear or adoration, but with great respect. Remember that Astaroth is a demon, fiery and cruel, but still curious and complacent enough. If you wish, you can bring him gifts. In preparation for the ritual you will understand what it should be. Pronounced words are not so important, the main thing is that you know exactly what you want from the demon, and whether he will not consider your request or question an insult. When summoning for greater immersion in the magical action, you can speak Latin, but this is not recommended for those who are not able to independently compose sentences in this language. Coming to Latin, the demon can speak in Latin. It is better to use your native, or familiar to you, language and call Astaroth by name during the invocation. Before leaving the circle, be sure to let the creature go, even if you see no signs that the demon Astaroth's summoning has worked. Thank him for coming, and then say, "Go in peace, Astaroth, demon of power, from whence you came to me, and peace be in your soul. Be ready to come to me when I call you, in the name of all the gods." So be it. Never leave the protective circle before saying goodbye to the demon, and do not neglect to close the portal, which will happen with Astaroth's departure. Astaroth's spell. Summoning Astaroth is extremely dangerous, as even an attempt is considered signing a contract with the demon. The spell can only be read by very powerful mages. The purpose of the call should be to get an answer to 3 important questions. The main thing is to formulate them cleverly. Stupidity can anger the Duke. To summon the demon Astaroth, not everyone had the courage, because it is necessary to comply with several important conditions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 5, 6, dot, 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 dash, dot, colon, 1, dot, 2, 3 dash, dot, 4, 5, dot, 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 question mark, dot, 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 dot.